Hi friends, I'm back with a brand new season of biology sessions again for you after a gap of almost 2 months. Okay, now today we are going to start a new chapter, that is the structure of chromosomes, cell cycle and cell division. Okay, now this chapter is divided into two parts. First part we are going to discuss, that is the structure of the chromosomes, and the second part actual cell division and the different stages of cell division we will be discussing, types of cell division, etc. Okay. So now to begin with, the word chromosome. Yes, now the word chromosome is divided into two parts, that is chrome and some. Now chrome means always colored and some means body. So these chromosomes are nothing but the colored bodies. Now you have to understand that these chromosomes are the cell organelles which will be visible only at the time of cell division, and normally they will be present as chromatin network or the chromatin granules, or it is also called as chromatin reticulum. Yes, in the nucleus. Yes, if you study the structure of the nucleus or the structure of the cell, yes, inside the nucleus you have long thread like structures which are called as the chromatin network or the granules. Now it is these granules itself or the network of the chromatin network which will condense and become short thick ribbon like structures called as the chromosomes. Okay. Now these chromosomes or rather the structure of the cell, if you observe under a microscope without using any stain, then these chromatin network will not be visible. But if you stain the cell and observe it under the microscope, you will see the highly colored bodies which are nothing but the chromatin network. So you can just have a look at the diagram here. Okay. Now this diagram which I have made here is of the interphase stage. Interphase is one of the stages of cell division which we will be discussing later. That is, it is called as the preparatory phase. So before the cell actually goes into the process of cell division, it has to pass this interphase. So if you observe, this is the animal cell we have drawn. Okay, now this is the nucleus. This is the double layered nuclear membrane, and present inside the nucleus you can see these long thread like structures. These are the chromatin fibers, or they are also called as the chromatin network or chromatin reticulum. Okay. Now this is the nucleolus and this is the centrosome. Now this centrosome is the cell organelle which is present only in animal cell, you are aware of that, and it is the one which initiates and regulates the cell division in animal cell. Now within the centrosome you can see here centrioles are there. So this centrosome is having two centrioles. Okay. Now this chromatin network is the one which just prior to cell division will become short thick ribbon like structures which are called as the chromosomes. So a chromosome is what I have drawn here. This is a duplicated chromosome. So this same short ribbon like structures, the long structures will become short thick ribbon like structures called the chromosomes. So chromosomes are the ones which will be visible only during cell division. Normally they will exist as the chromatin network. Now what is this chromosome made up of? If you observe, each chromosome is made up of these two chromatids. This is one chromatid, this is the other chromatid, which are joined at the centromere. So this point of attachment of the two chromatids, they are also called as sister chromatids, is the centromere, and the ends of the chromosome, these ends of the chromosomes are called as the telomere. Okay, so this is the diagram of a what you call as a duplicated chromosome. Just prior to cell division, the chromosome is going to duplicate itself, means it will make a copy of itself, and each chromosome is made up of two chromatids joined at the centromere. Okay, is it clear? Now we have to see what is the chromatid, what it is made up of. Now the chromatids are made up of what is called as the chromatin material. Okay, the chromatids of the chromosome. This is one chromosome. It is made up of two sister chromatids. Now this chromatid is made up of the chromatin material. Now this chromatin material in turn is made up of two things. One is the DNA. DNA full form you have to remember, which is the deoxyribonucleic acid 40% and the histone proteins, that is 60%. So these two are the chemical composition of the chromatin material. Now one DNA molecule, this one DNA molecule always coils around 8 histone protein molecules to form a structure which is called as the nucleosome. Okay, this was no space here, so I have written here, it is called as the nucleosome. So there will be several such nucleosomes on the chromosome. Okay, is it clear? So a DNA molecule which will coil around a 8 histone molecules forms what is called as a nucleosome. So chromatin material is made up of DNA and the histone proteins. Now we have to see what this DNA molecule is made up of. Now the DNA molecule is called as a macromolecule. Macro, you understand? Macro means large. Okay, it is a macromolecule made up of two complementary strands. Okay, two complementary strands which are wound around each other in a double helix structure. Just understand this. So this what I have drawn here is the diagram of the DNA. So these are the two complementary strands. This is one strand and this is the other strand, and they are coiled around each other in form of what is called as a double helix structure. Okay. So now what is this DNA made up of? Now the repeating units of the DNA is made up of repeating units which are called as the nucleotide. Now a lot of new terms, just try to understand. These repeating units are called as the nucleotides. Now what was nucleosome? Nucleosome was one DNA molecule and 8 histone protein molecules. Okay. Now the DNA itself is made up of these repeating units called the nucleotides. Now each nucleotide is made up of 3 parts: phosphate, pentose sugar and a nitrogenous base. Okay. So this phosphate and pentose generally occupies this portion of the strand lengthwise. Now if you see the diagrammatic representation of phosphate and pentose, it is shown here. This circle represents phosphate and pentose is a 5 carbon compound. So this is a pentagon, this is pentose sugar. Attached to that will be A. A stands for adenine, which is a nitrogenous base. So this portion of phosphate, pentose and one nitrogenous base is coming from one strand. This is that strand. Okay. And the other phosphate, pentose and a nitrogenous base will come from the other strand this way, and they will join here in the center. This is one nitrogenous base of this strand, this nitrogenous base of the other strand. They will be joined by the hydrogen bonds. Okay, is it clear? So just understand the repeating units of the DNA molecule are called as the nucleotide. Each nucleotide is made up of 3 things: phosphate, a pentose sugar and nitrogenous base. Okay. Now these nitrogenous bases in turn are of 4 types: adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. Okay, these you have to remember, some question on this is asked every year. So 4 different nitrogenous bases are adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. Out of these, adenine will always pair with thymine, meaning what? If one adenine is come from this strand, the other strand it has to be thymine. Okay, if the next is followed by cytosine, it will always pair with guanine. So adenine will pair with thymine by 2 hydrogen bonds and cytosine pairs with guanine by 3 hydrogen bonds. So there will be hydrogen bonds between these. Okay. So it is always that A will pair with T and C will pair with G. Okay. But whether AT will be followed by CG or again AT, that will vary from individual to individual. Okay. So when we say this sequence of nucleotides, this what you say is a sequence of nucleotide. Nucleotide you know is phosphate, pentose and nitrogenous base. So this sequence of nucleotides will vary from individual to individual. So this sequence of nucleotide is called nothing but the genes. So what are genes? Genes are the specific sequences of nucleotides which encode for a particular protein that expresses in some form of a feature in the body. So for no 2 individuals, this sequence will be same. It will be different for all individuals. Okay, is it clear? So this is what you have to understand with respect to the say the structure of the chromosome. Okay. Now I'll just repeat a few concepts for you. First we said that word chromosome is divided into 2 parts. Chrome means colored and soma means body. So they are all colored bodies. So only when you use a stain you can see this chromatin network in the interface. And just prior to cell division, this chromatin network, which is long and thread like, will become short ribbon like structures called the chromosomes. Okay. Each chromosome is made up of 2 sister chromatids which are joined at the centromere. Okay. So function you can be asked of the centromere or you can be asked the location of the centromere. So function of the centromere to provide attachment to the two sister chromatids, or centromere also provides attachment to the spindle fibers during cell division, which I will explain later when we discuss the stages of cell division. And the ends of the chromosome are called as the telomere. Okay. Now chemically what it is made up of? The chromatids are made up of chromatin material. Chromatin material in turn is made up of the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid 40% and histone protein 60%. One DNA molecule will wind around 8 histone protein molecules to form a complex which is called as a nucleosome. Okay, and the DNA in turn is made up of the repeating units called the nucleotide. Okay, don't get confused between nucleotide and nucleosome. This nucleotide in turn consists of a phosphate, pentose and a nitrogenous base, which I have shown here. Like that this will go on. Okay, I have shown only two nucleotides here, phosphate, pentose, adenine from one strand, phosphate, pentose and thymine from the other strand. Okay, so you can say that this DNA molecule resembles a ladder where the length, the sides are formed by the phosphate and the pentose sugar, and the steps of the ladder or the rungs of the ladder are made by the nitrogenous bases. Okay, so phosphate, pentose and nitrogenous bases, this is the nucleotide, and nitrogenous base in turn is of 4 types: adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. Out of that, adenine will always pair with thymine and cytosine with guanine. Yes, and we discussed also what are genes. Genes are nothing but the specific sequences of nucleotides, yes, on the chromosome which encode for a particular protein that will express in some feature of the body. Okay, so genes are nothing but the function of genes is the carriers of hereditary information, and they will transfer the hereditary characteristics from parents to offsprings. So that's why in some ways you may be similar to your parents, or there may be some similarities in the features, etc. Yes, so that is because of the genes. Okay, so now we'll have a look at the next part. Okay, now I want you to note down a few question answers related to what I've explained. Okay, so first question is, draw a neat label diagram of the duplicated chromosome. So you have to draw the diagram in pencil. Yes, a neat label diagram. So this is the chromatids, centromere and the telomere, and label it as a duplicated chromosome. Then next is, give the composition of the chromatids. So each chromosome is made up of 2 chromatids joined at the centromere. Each chromatid is made up of chromatin material which is formed of DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid about 40% and histone, a type of protein, about 60%. Okay. Then next is, justify DNA is called a macromolecule. This is important. So DNA is a very large single molecule composed of 2 complementary strands wound around each other in a double helix. Hence it is called as the macromolecule. Okay. Now this double helix structure was studied by Watson and Crick, is for which they were given the Nobel Prize. Okay, and even Rosalind Franklin also has discovered this. Okay, so they all were awarded the Nobel Prize for discovering this, the DNA model. Okay, it is also called as the Watson and Crick's DNA model. And just extra information. Then give the full form of DNA and RNA. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA is ribonucleic acid. RNA is mainly related to protein synthesis. Okay, but with the full form generally they ask it. Okay, now we'll have a look at the next part. Okay, next question. What is the DNA molecule made up of? Okay, now each single DNA strand is composed of repeating units called nucleotides, very important, which are made up of 3 components, namely phosphate, sugar pentose arranged lengthwise, and a nitrogenous base attached to the sugar inverts, which extends to join by a hydrogen bond the complementary nitrogenous base from the other strand. Okay, just now I explained all this. Thus the 2 strands together make a ladder like arrangement with the nitrogenous bases forming the rungs of the ladder. The bases are adenine A, guanine G, cytosine C and thymine T. Adenine always pairs with thymine with 2 hydrogen bonds and guanine with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds. Okay. So some question on this is always asked, so this is very important. Next is what are genes and give their function. Again, this is 5 star. Genes are specific sequences of nucleotides. Now you know what is a nucleotide, right? On a chromosome that encode particular proteins which express in the form of some particular feature of the body. Okay, this is the answer to what are genes, and their function is they are the units of heredity and carriers of hereditary characteristics. This is E here, responsible for transmission of these characteristics from parents to the offspring. Okay, so if you are asked to explain the term gene, then you will write this part. If function is asked, you will write the function. Okay, clear? Now we'll have a look at the next part. Okay, now this is an important question, application based question. Give 5 stars to this. Given below is a schematic diagram of a portion of the DNA. Study the diagram and answer the questions. Okay, now this circle represent what I just explained. Yes, very good. Phosphate, this is pentose, and these are the nitrogenous base. Okay, so how many strands are shown in the diagram? So there are 2 strands. This is one strand and this is the other strand. Okay, so 2 parallel complementary strands are shown this way and this way, so parallel. Then name the parts labeled 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now 1 will be phosphate, 2 is pentose sugar, 3 is a nitrogenous base, 4 is hydrogen bond, this which connects the two, and 5 is again a nitrogenous base. Okay. Now in the next question they have asked A, T, C and G. If they don't, then you can write here 3 is in bracket adenine and 5 is guanine. Okay. 5 is thymine, sorry. Then third question, name the DNA unit constituted by parts 1, 2 and 3. So 1, 2 and 3 form what? Yes, very good, nucleotide. What do the letters A, T, C and G stand for? So you have to write the full form: adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine, the 4 nitrogenous bases. And last is what is a nucleosome? So the DNA strand winds around the core of 8 histone molecules. This complex is known as nucleosome. Again, very, very important. Okay. Now we'll have a look at the next part. Okay. Continuing with the questions, next is name the following. Now this is related to this first part which we have done today. Repeating units of each DNA strand, nucleotide. Complex of 8 histone molecules and DNA, nucleosome. A nitrogenous base, adenine. You can write any one of the 4. Sugar present in the DNA strand, pentose. The specific sequences of nucleotides on a chromosome, genes. Type of bond which joins the complementary bases, hydrogen bond. Type of protein which constitutes chromatin fiber, histone protein. Process of formation of new DNA. Now this I didn't explain, this is called as replication of DNA. Okay, now you don't have the details of this in the syllabus, only you have to remember that the formation of new DNA, that is called as replication of DNA. So just prior to cell division, when we say duplication of chromosome takes place, it's nothing but this DNA will divide and form 2 copies of itself. Okay, that is called as replication. It's a highly complex procedure, you will learn it in higher classes. Nitrogenous base which pairs with adenine is thymine. A will always pair with T and C with G. So which pairs with cytosine is guanine. Okay. So these are named the following. Then next question, give the function of centromere. Again, very important. It serves as the point of attachment of the 2 sister chromatids of the chromosome. Any one function you have to write, or it serves to attach to the spindle fibers during the process of cell division. Okay. Then next is the give the location of centromere, located at the point of attachment of the 2 chromatids in the chromosome. Okay. Now we'll have a look at the next part. Okay, so we just completed the structure of the chromosome. That is the first part of this chapter. Now we'll begin with the next second part, that is the actual cell division. Now you know that life first appeared as unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium, euglena. Yes, so in this unicellular organisms, efficiency is very low. So multicellular organisms came into existence like human beings. Now in multicellular organisms, life first appeared as the fertilized egg or the fertilized ovum, which is formed in the process of fertilization by the union of the sperm and the ovum. Now this fertilized ovum will then divide and redivide. So there will be an increase in the number of cells. So the cells will ultimately form what? Tissues. Then tissues will form what? Organs. Yes, different organs will form organ systems, and various organ systems will ultimately form the organism. So this process by which the number of cells will increase, that is nothing but cell division. Okay, so if you have to define cell division, okay, cell division, it is a process of formation of new cells from pre-existing cells. Okay, cell division, it is a process of formation of new cells from pre-existing cells by their division in such a manner that the daughter cells form. Now the new cells which are formed, they are always called as daughter cells. Okay, new cells which are formed are always called as daughter cells. So the daughter cells so formed will contain the same hereditary material, means chromosomes, as what is present in the parent cell. Okay, so we will revisit the definition again. Cell division is defined as the process of formation of new cells from pre-existing cells by their division in such a way that the daughter cells formed will contain the same hereditary material, into bracket you have to write chromosomes, as what is present in the parent cell. Okay. Now why do we need this cell division? What is the significance or importance of cell division? Yes, it is required for growth and development. Just now we saw life starts as a single cell and then there will be increase in the number of cells. Okay. So for growth and development it is required. Then for replacement, now there is continuous wear and tear going on in the body, especially the surface skin cells, there is continuous wear and tear. So they have to be replaced. So almost every week they are replaced. So for replacement you require the process of cell division. Okay, for example, liver cells, they are replaced once in say 500 days or so. So every cell has some lifespan. We discuss in circulatory system, RBC lifespan is 120 days. So the replacement of worn out cells will take place by the process of cell division. Okay, clear? Then next is repair. Now sometimes you may hurt yourself or you break some bones, right? So then the process of cell division is useful for healing the broken bones and joining them. So again for repair, this process of cell division is made use of. Okay. So for growth and development, replacement and repair. Now the cell division which is required for these three purposes, yes, growth, development, replacement and repair, is called as mitosis. Mitosis is a type of cell division in which the chromosome number will remain the same. Yes, you start in humans, there are how many chromosomes? 46. So you start with 46 and you will end with again 46 chromosomes only. Okay, so cell division, that is mitosis, will be responsible for this growth, development, replacement and repair. We are going to discuss in detail mitosis. Then there is another significance of this cell division which is for reproduction. Now the cell division which takes place only in the reproductive organs, that is in the testes and in the ovaries, in males and in females, is for the formation or the production of the sperms and ovum, that is called as meiosis. Okay. So meiosis is taking place only in the reproductive organs for the formation of the gametes, that is the sperm and the ovum. Okay. Whereas mitosis takes place in all the body cells. Clear? So this is the significance of cell division. Now we are going to discuss in detail mitosis. Okay. Now if we have to define mitosis, yes, mitosis is a type of cell division, yes, in which two daughter cells are formed. Two daughter cells are formed, each containing the same number of chromosomes as what is present in the parent cell. Okay. Now how this term mitosis means thread-like. Now this chromosomes, or rather the process of cell division, was first observed under a microscope by a scientist called as Walter Fleming. Now he observed the rapidly dividing cells of the salamander, but he did not have a very high resolution microscope that time. So he could see only very blurred vision, but later with the discovery of electron microscope etc., all the different stages were discovered. So mitosis means thread-like. So it is a type of cell division in which two daughter cells are formed, each containing the same number of chromosomes as what is present in the parent cell. Okay. Now this mitosis is also called as what you say, the somatic cell division. Now what was soma? Soma means body. So mitosis takes place in all the body cells or all the somatic cells for the formation of, for replacement, repair, growth and development. So it is also called as somatic cell division. Okay, understand, this is generally asked for 1 mark questions. Justify, mitosis is known as somatic cell division. So you have to say that it takes place in all the somatic cells bracket body cells for growth, development, replacement and repair, so called as somatic cell division. Now we said that the daughter cells are containing the same number of chromosome, means chromosome number is remaining constant, right? So it is also called as equational cell division. Just understand, somatic cell division, and second it is also called as equational cell division. Equational cell division means what? The chromosome number is remaining the same. So since during the process of mitosis the chromosome number in the daughter cells remains the same, it is called as equational cell division. Okay, clear? Now discussing the different stages of mitosis. Now prior to mitosis there is a preparatory phase, that is called as the interphase. Now actually it is called as the resting phase. Why? Because there is no actual division of chromosomes is taking place in that, means you cannot see it externally, but lot of activity is taking place in this interphase. So it is called as the preparatory phase. Now it is further divided into 3 phases, that is the G1 phase, first growth phase, S phase, synthesis phase and the G2 phase. Okay, in the first growth phase the RNA and proteins which are required for the formation of for the process of cell division will be produced, and in the synthesis phase the DNA duplication takes place, and again in the second growth phase further proteins and the RNA and proteins will be synthesized. Why? Because this process of cell division is highly complex and requires lot of proteins, and the actual stages of mitosis, they are divided under 2 heads, what is called as karyokinesis, means division of nucleus, and cytokinesis, means division of cytoplasm. Okay. Now we will discuss karyokinesis, that is the 4 main phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Okay. Now you can have a look at the diagram. Now the diagrams we will be drawing in next class, so you get your color pencils in the next session. Now you just try to understand, I will explain the phases here of mitosis. Now starting with prophase. Now this interphase I have already explained, is that is it is having the chromatin network. Now it's actually during interphase only, that is the chromatin network will become thick, short, ribbon like chromosomes, but interphase always they will be shown as ribbon like structures. So in prophase, as you can see here, the chromosomes are short, thick, ribbon like structures have been formed. Now this centrosome which was containing 1 centriole, that will divide and it will form 2 daughter centrioles. Now these 2 daughter centrioles will start moving towards the poles. Now each centriole will develop certain ray like structures. Can you see these rays? So these ray like structures are called as the astral rays, and centriole plus astral ray together forms what is called as an aster. Okay. So aster is nothing but centriole plus astral rays. So between the 2 daughter centrioles additional certain fibers will develop. So these are called as nothing but the spindle fibers. So as you proceed, the number of spindle fibers will go on increasing. Now these daughter centrioles have moved. Okay, so you can see that the daughter centrioles have moved towards the poles and the number of spindle fibers have increased. And the characteristic of prophase is the nuclear membrane. You can see here this was dark, it is solid, but here it has become dotted, means the nuclear membrane will start to disappear, nucleolus has already disappeared, and finally the chromosomes will get attached with the help of the spindle fibers at the centromere. Okay, so here it is getting attached at the centromere. So that is the prophase. Now whenever you are asked to draw prophase, you have to draw always the late prophase. Now early I am just explaining so that you understand the changes what are taking place. Now maximum changes are taking place in prophase only. First you say that the chromosomes have already duplicated. Each chromosome is made up of two sister chromatids joined at the centromere. Then the centrosome is which is containing the centrioles that will split into two daughter centrioles. Each centriole will develop ray-like structures called astral rays. Centriole plus astral rays is called as an aster. They will start moving towards the poles, yes, and the nuclear membrane will disappear, nucleolus disappears, and finally the chromosomes will get attached at the centromere with the help of the spindle fibers. So this is the longest phase of cell division. Now this what I have explained is an animal cell. Okay. So now the other stages of cell division, that is metaphase, anaphase and telophase, that we will discuss in the next session. Now in the next session we are going to draw the diagrams also related to these. Okay. So today I have just shown you on the with the help of the textbook, but in the next session see that you have the color pencils with you, because out of these diagrams at least one or two diagrams are asked every year for drawing. So you have to have the practice of drawing neat and labeled diagrams. So in the next class we are going to draw all the diagrams related to mitosis, yes, and a few question answers, and then we will discuss meiosis also. Okay. So till then, happy studying, stay safe and healthy in the house. Thank you.